Hello, Ani. In this video, we'll be showing you how to set up and cast a fishing rod. We will start by unfolding the fishing rod and putting it together. Ensure that all the eyelets on the fishing rod are facing the same way when assembling it.
Now we will string the rod. When stringing the rod, make sure it's on a flat surface. Start at the base of the pole and string the fishing line through all the eyelets. Make sure you're paying attention while doing this so that the string doesn't get tangled or wrap around the pole. If this does happen, it'll make it difficult to fish. Sometimes stringing the fishing line can be difficult, so remember to take your time.
Here is an example of what a fishing rod could look like if the fishing line gets wrapped around the pole. Just simply grab the fishing line from where it's wrapped and restring the rod. This is what it should look like when completed correctly.
Now we will attach a lure or hook to the fishing line using a simple fishing knot. To create this knot, start by feeding the fishing line through the eye of the hook or lure, pulling several inches of the line through. This is commonly called the tag line. Once you've done that, start wrapping the several inches of tag line around the main line, ensuring it's wrapped at least 4 to 6 times. Next, you'll take your tag line and feed it through the loop at the base of the hook. When doing this, a new loop will form, which you'll feed the tag line through again. Pulling the tag line and the main line tight creates a fisherman knot. Then just cut off the extra tagged line.
To bait the hook, pierce the second rib from the top of the bait fully. And pierce the fourth rib, ensuring that the bait is stuck onto the hook. Here is another example of a hook and bait. Now we will attach sinkers to the main line, about 8 inches above the hook. Guide the sinkers onto the fishing line and firmly pressing down to close the gap and attaching it to the line. Typically, you attach 2 sinkers onto the line, giving it some extra weight. Next we have our fishing bobber. You'll notice there will be 2 hooks attached and one of them surrounded by a plastic cover. When pressing down, the bottom hook becomes exposed. To attach the bobber, take your main line and press down on the plastic housing, exposing the bottom hook and connecting. Next, you'll have to place your finger on the bottom hook while pressing down on the plastic housing to expose the top hook, and looping the main line around the hook, creating a firm hold. The depth of the bobber depends on the location where you'll be fishing.
We are now at the water to demonstrate how to cast with two different types of rods. First, we have the push button rod, which is called a spin caster. To use this rod, all you have to do is push down on the button and hold it in place until the hook is submerged into the water. Then you can release the button. After this, you can begin to reel your line in. Also, here's what a hook and bait looks like underwater. For the next rod, we'll also be using a spin cast, but to use this rod, there will be a few more required steps. Instead of a push button, this rod has something called a bill arm, which is the metal arm surrounding the spool of fishing line. Start off by unlatching the bill arm while grabbing the line with your index finger and holding it tightly. Once you're in this position, cast your rod out while releasing the line from your finger, and then you can begin to reel your line in. In this underwater video, you'll notice the hook and bait have a bobber attached to the line, allowing the hook and bait to float above the bottom of the bay, so seaweed and other obstacles cannot catch the line. Once you receive your fishing rods from the school, we encourage all of you to go out and explore Anishinaabemowin and the Son territory using the skills you learned in this video to start fishing. We also encourage you to take photos of your experiences and submit them to our email address to be entered into a draw to win lots of fun and cool prizes.